Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is episode 66 of a weekly gaming news show. Today is Sunday, September 17th. I'm here with Trenell, who's shrinking a little bit.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Sorry, still messing with my camera over here. How's everything going?
Not bad, man. Not bad. I heard you, and I've watched you put in some work on some Dragon Ball Z
Oh yeah,
fighter this weekend. And
we're gonna talk about that because that was amazing to say the least. Like that is gonna be an awesome game. I can't wait to get the full version. But yeah, we'll talk about that.
Cool.
But yeah, welcome back, everybody. It's episode 66. It's another Sunday, which means we got more gaming news to discuss with you. Man, it's been one heck of a weekend. But before we get started with the meat and potatoes of everything, let's go ahead and do our weekly icebreaker. And if you're unfamiliar with that, the weekly icebreaker is just a question that we like to ask of the panel or each other to get a sense of where we are on certain gaming topics. And this one's pretty important. Boogie, why don't you go ahead and introduce this week's icebreaker?
This week's icebreaker is based off a story from that we're going to be talking about later on today, but it's about toxic gaming. And my question for this week is, what is the most toxic multiplayer online game you've played, and what experience do you remember specifically?
I mean, I'm pretty sure if we counted to 3, we would name the exact same game. I'm gonna have to go with Call of Duty. It doesn't matter which version. Call of Duty on Xbox Live has to be one of the most toxic gaming communities as far as just the language. You know, just how the gamers like speak to each other.
Yeah, the hate is
the hate is palpable. It's real.
Right.
It's a little too real for me, and it got to a point where because Xbox 360s, they were bundled with headsets, so you didn't have to worry about not hearing everybody. But I had to like go out of my way to like mute people, and it was bad. It was a bad environment, and it definitely plays into what we're going to be talking about later with toxicity in gaming. We'll go a little bit more into it once we get there. But what about you, Boogie? Do you have anything other than Call of Duty, or is it the same?
Yeah, Call of Duty is horrible. It's horrible to the point where, I mean, I would play. I like when there's open lobbies. I like to use my headset because, especially in a game where there could be some strategy, you'd like to be able to communicate. But I would definitely avoid having the headset on for any Call of Duty game I would play. And it's just because. Just the way people talk, and right now one of the games is disappointing because I do like it a lot, but I won't play competitive play in Overwatch because of that same type of toxicity. Okay. I mean, people get in there and they do stuff like they purposely throw matches. They troll you with certain characters, and they May and Symmetra mostly. I mean, if you're playing a comp mode with pickups, it's a 50-50 chance if you use a Symmetra portal, you're going to fall off a cliff. So that type of stuff, I just can't stand it. I mean, Call of Duty has always been it. Overwatch is quickly becoming one of the games that's super toxic and is just not. It's not fun to play because of that.
Yeah. So mostly any game where it requires you to talk to other people is just it. I don't know. I don't want to say it's a breeding ground for toxicity, but it's like, man, does it just pop up fast and like in a major way?
Yeah. People like, just
like Xbox Live became known as like the toxic, like online game community. Because of just the rumors of the language that you would hear on on Call of Duty by young underage kids.
Yeah, young kids like where are your parents?
Right, exactly.
Where's the soap? I mean, god dang. I mean, like the words and the stuff and the thing is, what's funny is you hear them say stuff and they're a kid because they just throwing out as many bad words as they possibly. It's like they're going through their entire bad word vocabulary.
Yeah, they go through thesaurus for bad words. Like,
right.
Yeah. It's pretty bad, but we'll deep dive into that later on in the podcast. let us know what you guys think. Is Call of Duty or Overwatch, more recently, are those the more toxic, gaming communities, or are there others? I'm getting something from the live chat. League of Legends apparently is very toxic as well. I don't play League, so I don't know anything about that, and I haven't heard anything about it either.
Oh yeah, it's bad. League of Legends.
I just heard of people getting mad salty, but I mean,
apparently
probably
MOBAs,
one of the reasons.
Yeah, MOBAs are breeding ground for. It's one of the worst places, especially if you're a new player.
Okay. Yeah, just starting out. Yeah, I don't know. Is team-based gaming gonna die because of foul language? I don't know.
It certainly is gonna slow it down.
Yeah, because man, sure. I used to just get online and just play first-person shooters with randos all the time. But I dread doing that these days.
Yeah, you can't. I mean,
and if I'm forced to, then my mic is off.
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm only listening to game volume. That's it.
Yeah, we'll go further into this later on the show, but let's move on to the next segment.
All right, and the next segment is the quick hits, and these are just very short stories that we want to bring to you guys, something that we want to talk about. Don't necessarily deserve the deep dive of the top 5 news stories that we're going to be talking about here in a second, but it's something worth discussing. So let's go ahead and get on with that with the first story, and this is something that I'm actually very, very pleased about. If you haven't played Okami, you're going to get a chance to do so because it's getting an HD release for the current generation of consoles. Yes, that is right. The guys over at Platinum Studios, those were previously those were a bunch of Capcom employees.
Right.
Previously. And they were under the moniker, I think it was Clover Studios at the time. And they released Okami. I can't remember what year it was on, but it was a
No, was it?
No, it was original? A PS2. I think it was just PS2.
PS2, right? Yeah,
that may have been a PS2 exclusive for a while, right. And it is amazing. It is a glorious looking game, very, very beautiful. You take control of the dog character. Goddamn, what is her name? Amaterasu. Yeah, and you just have to play. I don't even want to spoil anything. It is a beautiful game, and Amaterasu actually appeared in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 as a playable character. So for those of you that didn't know where Amaterasu came from, it was from Okami, and this is actually really cool. I don't plan on getting it because I've already played it, but it's kind of funny. This is one of the games that when I didn't have a PlayStation 2, our good friend he let me borrow his PlayStation 2 and just it's like, dude, just play.
You gotta play this game.
You gotta play this game. It was a handful of games, but Okami was one of them. And it's crazy because I actually got to the end of the game with half of the powers.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
How did you do that?
I broke the hell out of that game. I don't know how I did it, but it was super hilarious. Once I got to the end, and Yama and O were like, "Wait, how are you at the end? You don't even have half of the powers." I was like, "I don't know, dude. I don't know. I never played." Awesome. It's pretty funny, but yeah, you'll get your hands on it. Do they have a release date for this?
Yes, they have a release date: December 12th in the U.S., December 13th in Japan. December 3rd, excuse me, I should say December 12th in the West, Europe and US.
Okay. And
December 13th in Japan. And what's interesting is that not only is it an HD version, it's going to be on PlayStation and Xbox, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Switch, correct? Or not the Switch?
I did not see.
I don't see it on the Switch, right? Yeah, but it will also.
But PC with 4K support.
Yeah, it will be on PC. Yeah, it'll be 4K support on PC, PlayStation 4 Pro, and Xbox One X. So not only are you getting the full 1080p version, you are getting a 4K version, which is really interesting. And then on top of that, it's 2007 is when the game came out. You'll be able to play the game in the original 4x3 format if you if you want to go old school retro. And you want to block off your nice widescreen, you'll be able to play in the 4x3 format, which is the shape of the old big doofy TVs of yesteryear. Yeah,
them CRTs. Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. You know what? Now that I'm thinking back, I might actually go back and get it just so that I can like play it properly. Because I think
Get all the
I
powers.
think I skipped like a large chunk of that game somehow. I don't even know if I can ever recreate it. It was before like streaming and all that, so I have no footage of it. Nobody's ever gonna believe me. But let's go ahead and move on to the next quick hit. What we got?
We got some Overwatch news. And
more Overwatch news.
Some Overwatch news. This is not any big news. I guess is big money news, huh?
Yeah.
But they signed 2 new franchises in Houston and Philadelphia, $20 million each. Optic Gaming will be running the franchise in Houston, and Comcast Spectator will be running the franchise in Philadelphia. And apparently, the Milwaukee Bucks owner is looking to get the team in Chicago.
Oh man!
So so now we're up to 13 teams, confirmed teams in the Overwatch League, and possibly a 14th. At about $20 million a piece, so that's
$20 million a pop. Woof.
$260 million raised. God, woof! Big bucks.
Big bucks. A lot of money going into Overwatch. I mean, we've been saying this over and over again. It's where the money is. I just hope that this league, because it hasn't even started yet, right?
It doesn't start until 2018.
Okay, so it's not starting until next year. This is a lot of money going into this esports league,
right? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's supposed to be 16 teams. So they've got 3 more teams they need to lock down, from my understanding. I may be wrong. I have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure it's about 16 teams.
Oh man, well let's see where the money takes them. Because you said that they just got 3 more, and they have
2 more and working on 1.
Yeah. So, man, that is a lot of money. I wonder which player is getting paid the most, because we talked about that last time.
Yeah. He's $150,000 a year, but I'm sure he's not going to be the highest paid when it all is said and done. I'm sure. I'm pretty certain. I actually know of a couple of players, a couple of South Korean players that are much better than what's his name, Jay Wan, I think his name was. That'll probably command bigger salaries.
We'll see. And this is going to be a spectacle. I actually cannot wait for the E League to actually start, so we can see where all this money went.
I wonder how people are going to react when they see Hanzo one shot somebody in the foot. What a kill! He shot him in his Achilles.
He'll never walk again. All right, let's move on. What's the next story that we got?
The next story, this is right up your alley. It's in the fighting community. Justin Wong.
Justin Wong, who is a notable Marvel vs. Capcom player, has taken Evo in both Marvel 2 and 3 and Infinite in the past. Basically said over Twitter that he is not going to participate competitively in Marvel Infinite because of his early access to the game. Basically saying that he's had a head start. He's been playing the game for a while, and it would be unfair for him to directly compete with with everybody else that is going to be getting their hands on the game for the first time once it releases very, very soon. So
next week, Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. So he's going to be holding off until I think he said October.
Right. He named the event. The event was SEAM. Yeah. His first tournament was SEAM under the Canada Cup. Yeah. Which is in October.
Right. Yeah. So because for I think the most recent one that everybody's going to be talking about, the SCR, he's only signed up for Street Fighter 5. He's not going to participate in Marvel because he's had a head start, and that actually goes directly to the opposite of what we've been talking about with the toxicity in gaming. Like this is like, he doesn't need to do this. Nobody is making him do this.
Right.
Like, him getting the game early gives him a competitive edge.
Right.
But
initially I was like, oh, well, he still has that edge, right? Because he's still been playing a month longer than everybody else. But to allow people to get in the tournament and play against other top players is actually it is upstanding on his part. And as I read into the story more and other instances, a lot of times these pros, these fighting pros with early access, they jump in the tournament to try to win it because they know they've been playing longer and they figured out some tips, some tricks that maybe some of the other players in the tournament haven't yet.
Right. Yeah, I was going through his Twitter, and he's has a pretty solid grip on a handful of characters. He's been showing it off over on his Twitch channel. But yeah, no, I think that this is definitely upstanding on his part. Not something that he was required to do or maybe even recommended to do. But, you know, he's just, you know, going about it his way. Yeah. So good on you, Justin Wong. Yeah. He's probably one of the top American fighting game players. And for him to just, like, you know, just back out of a tournament. You know, for the competitive fairness for everybody, like that's dope. Because
remember, these tournaments, when you win, you get paid. So he's leaving money on the table. It's not a small thing he's doing. Well, he's just not gonna play the game. Right. I mean, is to be fair, he probably would have been favored easily.
Oh yeah,
and more than likely won. And you know, that's money that's out of his pocket. So yeah, he's doing a very good thing. And shouts out to all, big ups to him.
Yeah, big ups to him. Jay Wong is watching him play Marvel is probably one of the most entertaining things ever, because he normally doesn't play with like the shooty characters. He likes to go in. So if you saw him ever play as an Iron Fist in Marvel 3, it is something to behold. It's actually pretty cool. So big ups to Justin Wong. I can't wait to actually see you compete in October in Marvel, and let's hope that he takes it all the way to Evo. I would like to see him at Evo. It would be dope. It would be dope. We have one more quick hit. Boogie, why don't you go ahead and introduce it?
We're gonna go over and talk about the Dragon Ball FighterZ beta. We know at least 50% of this panel has played Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I'm not the 50%.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was able to get my hands on the Dragon Ball FighterZ beta, closed beta that is. I was invited by Bandai Namco, and man, was it an amazing event. I have videos over on my YouTube channel. You can also catch the stream highlights or the past broadcasts. But I played all 4 sessions. It took place yesterday, which is a Saturday. The first one started at like 5 a.m. and then the second one was at like I think it was like a 4 p.m. and then like 7 p.m. something like that. But yeah, so there was 4 sessions and I participated in all 4, and I feel like I got a pretty good grip on my team. There's definitely a lot more to learn, but man, the game is it's super fun. It's super accessible because they have this thing where, like, if you're just pressing the weak button, you'll do like an auto combo, and that's something
really?
So it has auto combos for people that aren't necessarily, like, you know, well versed in, like, you know, button commands. That's
that button mashing stuff.
Yeah, button mashing. Yeah, I mean, but it's really, like, if you can see it after a while, you'll be like, that's an auto combo. I know where to punish. So.
Okay.
So it's not.
It's fairly easy to counter.
It's fairly easy to counter if you can spot it out. But it's super fun. I had a blast playing it. I had Mount Lover over to play with me as well, and we actually got some pretty decent matches. Man, I cannot wait for the full release. I've already pre-ordered it, by the way. I thought you
had already. You had a while back, didn't you? Or did you just pre-order it this weekend?
No, I pre-ordered it a little while ago, maybe like a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
But man, that game is fun. I believe they're gonna have an open beta very soon. Well, not very soon, but before the release, we're gonna have an open beta. It's not
releasing until what, next spring, right?
Yeah, next spring. Yeah, that's when it comes out. And they also just announced 2 new characters. They're gonna have Yamcha and Tien, as well as Android 21, who is an exclusive to this game. And I believe she's only. I don't know if she's a fighter or not, but she's gonna play a big role in the story. So because it is gonna have like a campaign, like a story mode that takes place like an alternate like version of the Dragon Ball world that we know. But man, it's fun to play. The team that I went with was Goku, Android 16, and Perfect Cell. And man, 16 is a monster.
Right,
like 16 is a monster.
Although I didn't get to play, I played vicariously through you. I watched a good chunk of you and Yama play last night.
Right.
And yeah, I mean,
I had footage here, but it's not showing up for some reason. Go ahead.
Definitely looks it's interesting. It looks super fun, and it's a pretty game.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yes, and from what I understand, you guys were talking about this yesterday. You'll be able to do 3-on-3 matches online where each player controls a character. Correct?
Right. Yeah. They did announce one of the game modes would be like 3v3, but everybody can control one character.
Yeah, that's kind of
awesome. So that's going to be dope, and you can kind of like get like a feel, or you can kind of like see the different like arenas or modes, because the main hub is like this like arena or whatever, and around the outside you can see like different areas. Okay. And it looks like there's going to be like a lot of different modes, and I can't wait to see what the rest of them are going to be.
I like that concept of that team fighting game. Where
it's a direct jab at Marvel vs. Capcom, because that was something that they did in the first Marvel vs. Capcom game, but it was only on the Dreamcast, and you you have 4 controllers, and each person can control a person for 2-on-2 matches. Yep. It was the best thing ever, but they never. They
didn't put it back.
Yeah, they never showed that off ever again. They never revisited that concept. So it was it's kind of lame that we never got that again. And Dragon Ball FighterZ is going directly at Marvel vs. Capcom. Right. This is direct competition right here, and I am super happy.
Right. And I mean, it seems like fighting games are making a huge comeback, and they're coming back pretty strong.
Oh yeah,
and it's not the usual players. Like, it's not just Street Fighter, normal Capcom, and it's not your Mortal Kombat. It's other stuff. I mean, it's other established fighting series.
I mean, just seen for a while. Arc System Works, man. They have Dragon Ball Fighters in the works, and then they also have another crossover game between I believe it's what is it? Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, and another one of their franchises. They're having like a triple crossover game. So just because of how much I like this, I may pick up their other titles. Like, I think I'm becoming an Arc System, fan.
Cool.
And so I definitely cannot wait for this to come out. Like, it was a good time. It was
Sounds
a good
like
time.
It, and it looked like it too.
Yeah. Oh God, it was so good. But yeah, so that was the quick hits. Just a few stories that we wanted to bring to you guys really quickly. Let us know what you think about them. Are you excited for Okami HD? Did you get a chance to play in the the Dragon Ball Fighters beta? If you did, let us know what you think about it. Let us know your thoughts. We're going to move on to the next segment, and this is the top 5 news stories. But before we do that, I do want to give a special shout out to our sponsor, and that is the New Challenger Discord. Head on over to newchallenger.gg and get well versed in your favorite fighting games. They will be supporting Dragon Ball Fighters when it releases, and I plan on taking a big part in that community. The website is newchallenger.gg. You can currently get good with any character in Street Fighter V, Injustice 2, Tekken 7, and upcoming Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. It's a huge community with a lot of dedicated members, ones that want to help you get good with your favorite character. So the website is newchallenger.gg, and make sure that you follow them on Twitter and Twitch, which is New Challenger TV, because they do hold bi-weekly Street Fighter V tournaments in what else, in both the US and Europe, which is really cool. And they also have other content that they post to their YouTube channel, like the beginner breakdown, which is very, very, very helpful, because it takes a video or a match and they just break down all the mistakes that you're making and try to help you, improve. So it's a useful tool. You should definitely check it out. That's newchallenger.gg and New Challenger TV on Twitch and on Twitter. Make sure you give those guys a follow. And a big shout out to Mr. Vinegar, who is the founder of the Discord channel, and another huge shout out to Mount Lover, who is a good friend of the podcast, as well as a commentator and moderator over on the tournaments. So thank you guys, appreciate you. Let's jump into the meat and potatoes of the show, and that's going to be the top 5 news stories. And first up, we have a lot of Nintendo news, probably too much Nintendo news.
Yeah, a lot. Nintendo's in the news, right? Imagine that,
right? I remember there was a while where we couldn't get away from Nintendo, so they're coming back in a major way. Boogie, why don't you go ahead and start us out? What we got first?
Okay, the first story we're going to talk about that Nintendo Switch app. That I don't know. I know I don't use it.
No.
I'm pretty certain you don't use it. They did actually make an update to it that brought a feature to it that should not have ever been left off. The update now allows you to lock your phone or use another app while you're chatting on the Nintendo Switch. And if you're unfamiliar, the Nintendo Switch doesn't have a any type of built-in chat system. If you want to chat with your friends, you have to download an app to your smart device. It could be a tablet or a phone, iOS or Android, and then you connect your headphones to it and you chat using the app on your phone. Previously, before this update, you had to have your phone unlocked, your screen had to be on, and the app had to be open, or you would be disconnected from chat. So they fixed that. I still don't see that's not going to make a difference. I'm not going to use my phone to chat with anybody.
Basic app functionality is not a selling point for me. Like you're not going to get, hey, this is a functioning app that does stuff, and you don't have to have your screen on and the app open to you. Like, really?
Exactly. That was a joke. It was an insult if you asked me that they released it. And I think. My personal opinion is that app really wasn't finished. They just rushed it out so they can get it out for Splatoon.
Right, yeah. I mean, because currently Splatoon is the only real team-based game that may require some kind of like coordination that they have out.
Right.
I don't really see the point in talking to a lot of people when you're playing like Mario Kart or any single-player game. So it was definitely built around Splatoon. I honestly think that they should have built something on the console to talk to people. Why? It's 2017, my boys. Like, get out of here.
I think it's bad software. The OS is crap.
Oh well, yeah, the OS. The Switch OS. Yeah, it's bare bones, man. It's like a bunch of like squares and like the shop. And that's it.
It's not finished. I'm sure.
We're most likely gonna get a bunch of updates on it.
Yeah. About a year to 18 months from now, we'll look back and see video and be like, what the hell is that? That's not what I have in my hand now. But yeah, so there's that finally.
What's up? What's next?
The next one, if you're looking for an SNES Classic, their sales were supposed to end at the end of this year, 2017. They have now been extended to 2018. So you'll be able to get SNES Classics well into next year. And to piggyback with that, the NES Classic from last year that everybody wanted for reasons unbeknownst to me and everybody couldn't get, will be going back on sale this in summer of 2018. So those will be on sale. There'll be a big fear over people rushing to get those, and people will buy 20 of them and mark them up, and same thing they did last time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if
that's what scarcity does, man. It creates a necessity for it, and then like they don't have it, but somebody will buy 20 and sell them for like double the price.
Yep.
On eBay.
Exactly.
It's I don't know. I feel like that should be illegal, man. That's just crazy.
that's the American capitalism at
its worst.
That's the way it is. You capitalize on something to make yourself rich.
Crazy. What we got next?
This one, and I'm gonna let you run with this one. This Super Mario 64.
Oh yeah, so 64. Super Mario 64 Online is a ROM hack of the original Super Mario 64 that came out on the 64. And it allows for multiplayer, online multiplayer with your friends. You can play as, a huge cast of characters. You got Mario, you got Peach, Yoshi, Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi, and of course Yoshi. If I didn't already say Yoshi, I think I said Yoshi. But yeah, it's really cool. I haven't actually been able to play it currently. It involves some like weird way that you have to connect with each other. So I haven't been able to try it yet, But it seems really fun. There's a couple of different modes that you can play. You can, like deathmatch. I wouldn't necessarily call it deathmatch, but it's like a competitive mode where you can actually like do damage to each other.
Oh wow!
I believe there's like a race mode as well, and then you can also just play the game as it was originally intended, only with your friends.
With your friends, with a bunch. But I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's super cool, and I'm pretty sure Nintendo's gonna shut it down real quick.
Oh yeah. So rush out, get those downloads now because it probably won't be there tomorrow.
Right, and I believe they did something similar. Nintendo, they did something similar themselves with the DS remake of Super Mario 64. Because that also allowed for like multiplayer, but I think it was very limited. Like you could do some star hunting or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. And this is actually really cool because I don't know the capacity, but I saw up to like 6 people playing at a time.
Oh wow. That's cool. That's cool.
It's really cool. And once me and Mount Lover, or I should say just Mount Lover, once he figures it out,
tells you what to do.
Yeah, once he figures it out and tells me how to do it, then we'll have that available. I'll definitely live stream that once we figure it out. But it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, it was released, within the last week.
Right.
But he's been working on it for a while.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, what we got next? What's next?
This is not really a Nintendo story, but I stuck it in here because Nintendo was the tops, right? So MPD numbers for August came out, and Nintendo Switch for the second consecutive month and fourth time in the past 6 months is the #1 selling console in North America. PlayStation is number 2 with Xbox bringing up the rear. And then the top 5 games, Madden was the #1 selling game of August. Surprise, surprise. Followed by Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, and then I'm sorry, not Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Let me take that back. Followed by the dinosaur that is GTA 5.
Oh God, that was number 2.
That was number 2. That was the number 2 selling game last month. And then there was Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, Splatoon 2, and Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. So Nintendo had the top selling console, two of the top 5 selling games, and those 2 games are exclusive. So I mean, that means
that's saying something. If your exclusive is outselling multi-plat games, like that's saying something right there.
Right, and then you got Uncharted, which also is an exclusive for PlayStation 4.
Right.
So that
was the expansion though, not the original game.
The Lost
Legacy, yeah, that's the expansion.
That's small. It's like a standalone expansion, all right? You don't need any other game for it. No. And it's not even full price. It's like $30, right?
Yeah. So I haven't gotten my hands on it. I wasn't. I don't know. I'm a Nathan Drake fan, so I wasn't too keen on playing as the female leads. Not that I have anything against them. It's just like I played through the series really quickly. Like I played the trilogy, and then I got 4. So I'm really attached to Nathan Drake. Didn't really get a lot of time to like soak in the other personalities, so to play an entire game as them didn't really seem appealing to me personally.
Got it.
But yeah, we got more Nintendo news. What we got?
The last story is the biggest story, right?
Yes, the biggest one.
Nintendo Direct. Let's talk about Nintendo Direct. What did they show us at Nintendo Direct?
Nothing.
They had a lot of stuff.
Man, they had a lot of nothing, man. I watched. Go ahead. I'll let you go.
I was gonna say they had a lot of words. I don't know if it really amounted to much of anything.
Right. Yeah, I can agree with that because I tried to count how many like things they announced that we hadn't already seen before, and it wasn't very high. There was a lot of just like individual games that they just showcased or talked about for anywhere from like a couple seconds to like 20 minutes. So we have I have a list here, and also in the show notes and in the description you should see the link to the actual direct so you can watch the whole thing, because we're not going to show any footage of it. We don't want to get copyright noticed over on YouTube. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go down the list here and just show give you guys the cliff notes pretty much. So first off, we had Pokemon Sun and Moon. They showed some gameplay. Also,
That's a year old game now, isn't it?
No, I'm not getting that.
Isn't the game been out a year?
This is the new one. This is the new version, the re-release. Not re-release, but the next game in the cycle, I guess you can call it. Yeah, so they got that coming out also with a Pokemon case. They're re-releasing Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga with some added bonus content with Bowser's Minions. That's going to be coming out. Kirby Battle Royale is like a 4-player like fighting game. Not kind of like Smash Brothers, but not really. Also, Minecraft is going to be coming out. It actually released for the DS during the 3DS during the live stream. Also, the Mario Party 100, which is actually really interesting because they're taking the 100 best games or mini games and putting them all on one title, which is really cool. And this is all the 3DS stuff. We also have a new 3DS color scheme, which is white and orange. And then after that, they kind of went into the Wii U stuff. We had a lot of footage of. Switch stuff. We had a lot of footage of freaking Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2. They showed off a couple of indie games. One thing that was interesting to me was the inclusion of Doom and Wolfenstein 2.
Coming to Nintendo Switch. That was surprising.
It was surprising in a good way though.
Yeah. It's one of the premier AAA titles that's coming out or that came out talking about Doom, and that's coming in Wolfenstein 2 that are like AAA big what do you want to call them? Epic piece game, epic type games.
Yeah, they're like the AAA titles.
Right. So I was really surprised to see those come out. And then what I saw that was interesting to me, because I'm an old head, and I remember going to the arcade playing these games, was the Nintendo arcade games that they
the arcade archive. So they're gonna be starting off with Mario Bros.
Oh yeah, and I'm definitely getting that. I played I dropped so many quarters in the Mario Brothers game. Yeah, the original, not Super Mario Brothers with fireballs.
The original Mario Bros. The quote unquote cooperative game, but everybody was going ham on the other player. Like that's we don't need to say any more about that. Other games that they showed off the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Champions amiibo. Those are coming out and they're going to give you like special things in game. They also announced that sports games are coming. So we have FIFA, NBA, and WWE, as well as Pokken Tournament DX, which is a re-release.
Let me step in there real quick.
Go ahead.
About those about the sports games. The FIFA is going to be missing features. NBA 2K18 is a mess. So NBA 2K18 has a couple of problems. One is that its save file is 5 gigabytes.
Damn.
And you're only able to save it on the system. So you got a 32 gig Nintendo storage space, and 5 of it is going to be locked as your save file for NBA 2K18. Another thing is it's running at 30 frames per second, where everywhere else is running at 60.
That's bad.
So I mean, there's a couple of things with that. It is definitely gimped on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
If you have any other system, if you have get it there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's most probably what a lot of people are going to be doing.
And then beyond that, apparently when you buy the game, there's a mandatory file install or download. So I mean, for essentially the NBA 2K18, if you buy that, if you don't have a memory card, you will not be able to enjoy that game.
Damn.
You definitely, if you buy NBA 2K18, you make sure you have storage. And from everything I've seen, this is probably the first game that's running into this, but it's definitely not going to be the last. So you want to get as big as you can, because if you plan on using the Switch as your primary system, you're going to be running into some storage issues pretty shortly here.
That's wild. Next up, we had Project Octopath Traveler. It's a working title. It seems pretty interesting. It was one of the only other games that we hadn't heard about, so it was one of the only new games or announcements, you can say. Also, we got some details on the ARMS version 3 update. which brought in the new character Lollipop or something like that.
Yeah, Lollipop,
Lollipop. Something like
she's
that.
like a clown.
Yeah, like a clown character. She has with her comes a couple of new arms that you can use, and that update actually went live after the direct was over. Dragon Quest builders, we've seen that before. They showed off the Kirby Star Allies, which is a 4-player like action platformer, standard Kirby, but with a lot more emphasis on cooperative play with up to 4 people. So that it seems pretty cool. Kirby games always put me to sleep. They're too like lullaby. Like it's like a lullaby. Like it's so cutesy and the music it puts me to sleep. So I probably won't play that. But in addition to that, they're also doing a poll where people can vote for their favorite copy, power up or whatever. And I guess they'll put that in the game or something. I'm not sure what they're doing with that, but you can vote. The link is in the description. Then they did like a reel of games for the eShop. I didn't have time to like get all of them.
Right. I mean,
and then they rounded everything off with Mario Odyssey.
Mario Odyssey. Yeah. I mean, like you said,
how many times are you going to show this to us?
It was certainly underwhelming. They had a couple of pleasant surprises, like I said, the arcade games and Doom and Wolfenstein. Even though if I don't have Doom, and if I were to go buy Doom, a Nintendo Switch is definitely not where I would be buying Doom on.
Definitely not.
But I mean, it's cool.
It's cool that they're getting these AAA games on their console, and Wolfenstein 2 is actually gonna launch with the other titles.
With the other titles, yep.
So it's at the same exact time. So that's good that they're not playing catch up with all of their releases. Right. Because Doom is pretty old at this point, and I'm glad that they didn't do like a Doom and Wolfenstein 1 thing, because then I'm like everybody that wants to play those games has already played them. Right. But they have a chance to bring in some sales with Wolfenstein 2.
I'm just interested to see, because as of right now, the Nintendo Switch has been selling well, and the games that have been selling have been Nintendo games. They've been the Zelda and the Kirby, Mario Rabbids and Splatoon and that stuff. I would be interested to see if one of those mature rated or high teen rated game is going to be popular on the Nintendo Switch. I'm not too sure it will be.
No, me neither. But we'll have to wait and see. In addition to more of the worlds that are going to be available in Mario Odyssey, they did show off a Mario Odyssey edition for the Nintendo Switch with 2 red Joy-Cons and a carrying case.
I saw that.
Yeah, that'll launch alongside the game.
And I think it's either $10 or $20 more than if you bought the game and the system itself. So you're basically paying for everything in the box. You're paying for the Switch. You're going to be paying for the game, and you're paying for the add-on.
Your carrying case. Yeah.
It's not like when Sony and Microsoft released their Xbox and PlayStation bundles, where it's actually a good deal, where the games apparently are free or a discounted price. Yeah. The bundle is the same price.
Full price, boys.
Yeah.
They can't give you the carrying case for free. God dang.
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing's for free in the world of Nintendo.
Definitely not.
But I was underwhelmed. I'm getting sick of the Nintendo Direct moniker, just because every single time that they do one of these, it's more and more and more of the same. Right. And I'm kind of just getting tired of like, oh, we got a Nintendo Direct coming up, and then it's nothing substantial.
They always have it either right before or right after a major conference. This one is sitting like pretty much directly in the middle of Gamescom and TGS, right? Right. And it's like they want all eyes on them. I don't know. I mean,
but for what? They don't have anything to announce. They always skip out on all of the big conventions, and they don't want to have live panels or anything like that. But then they do these directs, and they don't have anything to talk about. Right. It's like, if you don't have anything to talk about, then just don't say anything. Just go to I feel like each and every one of these announcements could have been done via social media.
right?
Or just like released as a individual video ad for that, a press release or something like that. Right. Like they could have just uploaded individual videos, sporadically of different like titles. They don't need to have like hold a direct and just like shove all this into our faces like at one time, because the Nintendo Direct used to mean something. It used to mean like we're announcing some baller shit. Get ready, boys. Like, but now it's just like it's more of the same.
Like you said, they don't have anything, and it's becoming painfully obvious that they don't. They have Mario Odyssey.
They have Mario Odyssey, yeah.
That's their big thing, and then they have a bunch of little stuff. A couple of little victories. I mean, victories like NBA 2K and FIFA coming to the Switch, and Doom and Wolfenstein 2 coming to the Switch. That's a bit of a victory. And there's a cool feature with the classic arcade games, but I mean, there's nothing in there that says it deserved its own event.
No,
nothing in there. So, yeah, Nintendo, sit and spin.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Well, we'll be back to let you know how disappointed we are during the next Nintendo Direct. But I think that's enough Nintendo for 1 week. Let's go ahead and move on to the next story. What we got?
This one is mega interesting. Microsoft is working on install file tech, and what they're looking to do is basically have files broken down in batches and tagged, so you don't necessarily have to install every single file of a game to actually play it. One good example, and it's a very good example, is with sports games. They have the commentary in the sports games. One good one would be FIFA. FIFA has like 16 languages.
Right.
As it stands now, when you install it, you have to install every single language as well, and that can take up a lot of space. I mean, 5 to 10 gigs worth of space. When you
think about all of the commentary.
Right. You think about all the commentary and all of the languages. They're looking at a tech that will allow you to just install the language of your choice. So if you're French, all you have to do is install the French language. English, you install English language. And it goes further to where they're looking to be able to install, maybe you buy Call of Duty and you're never going to play single player. So you don't install the single player portion, you install the multiplayer portion. And I think that would be amazing, considering the size of the games at this point. Or even like if you're playing a game and you beat the single player, and you're not going to play the single player ever again, you're just going to play multiplayer.
You just uninstall that section.
Exactly.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean that type of control and ability, and it was a bit hinted at when they talked about the Xbox One X and the Xbox One, saying if you have a regular Xbox One S or non 4K, you don't have to install the 4K files. So that's the initial, as it stands now, when the game is optimized for 4K, you don't have to install the 4K files if you don't have the Xbox One X, right? So that was the initial hint, and apparently Digital Foundry got their hands on some documentation that further explained what they're working on, and how they're marketing it to or talking to developers about it. I think it's interesting. I mean, when we did an episode where we talked about the size of games. I mean, one of the Call of Duty games was like 124 gigs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 25% of a 500 gig hard drive.
Yeah. So I mean, this is pretty freaking interesting, and I can't wait to see what else they can do with it. I mean, I know plenty of people that pick up every single Call of Duty. They never play the campaign. They jump right into the multiplayer. They don't even touch the single player campaign. Yep. So that right there in itself, and we've had like the tech where you can prioritize how it downloads, because you have to download it. You can either download the story first or the multiplayer first.
Right.
So you've been able to prioritize, but now they're giving you full control of what you want on your hard drive. Like that's pretty dope.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. And it Another thing they talked about is multi-disc installs. Like if you got a game that's on 2 or 3 discs, instead of installing every disc, you just install the files you need off of the specific disc. I mean, it's a lot of different stuff that they talked about. And I can't wait to see it. Obviously, they're working on it. They have it working in some capacity, like I said, with the Xbox One X coming out. So I'll be glad to see more optimization. I mean, we definitely need because, like I said, stuff is getting bigger and storage isn't free. I mean, you get 500 gigabytes on a standard hard drive. If you get like a special edition, you get a 1 terabyte. But most people are going out. I know I do, and I'm pretty sure you do. You have external hard drives that you have to manage your storage with. So, yeah, I think that's definitely a good thing. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be pretty dope. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to get my hands on that thing and uninstall some of this crap off of my freaking consoles, man. Like I'm running low, like literally running low on storage space. So this is a good story, and it's more of that same mentality. They're just future proofing the Xbox, the Xbox experience.
Right.
Like overall, like the Xbox is really trying to just be the home of like this is your console home right here. You have full control. They're going. They're doing the most to try to get the crossplay like thing going. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what other tricks Microsoft has up their sleeves.
I know.
Hopefully
one
some games.
That's what I was going to say. I know one trick. One trick that would turn the tide is games.
Yeah,
show me some games.
Yeah, they have all of the other things like down packed. They just don't have any games. It's a very weird thing. This E3 is the next E3 is probably going to be really dope. I think Microsoft might blow us away with some games. I don't know because they just announced that they canceled one another exclusive not too long ago, but let's
cancel.
It was some game by the guys over at Obsidian.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't. It didn't get too far in production.
Right. It was like a proof of concept. It was at like the storyboard stages.
Yeah. It was. They pitched it and they greenlit it, and then they just canceled it. And Obsidian is a pretty upstanding developing company. I don't know why you wouldn't want an exclusive from them for those guys on your console. It didn't make any sense to me, but I don't know.
They must have something up their sleeve.
They got to have something. I'm hoping they have something because, like, dang, how many scale bounds are we gonna have before people start getting angry?
Right.
I don't know. You can only make me happy with playing my previously owned games for so long.
Right.
Backwards compatibility is not gonna carry the Xbox One, especially with the One X coming out. But yeah, let's go ahead and move into the next story, and this one involves Naughty Dog, and we actually talked a little bit about Uncharted just a little while ago. Mm-hmm. So news came out that the Uncharted and Last of Us director has left Naughty Dog. What's that guy's name? I can't remember.
His name is Bruce Daly.
Bruce Daly has left Naughty Dog after I think it was like what
18 years.
Yeah, 18 years with the studio.
Yeah, he started as an artist or art director on the Jak and Daxter series, and his most recent projects, he was co-director of Uncharted 2, Uncharted 4, and The Last of Us Left Behind DLC.
Okay.
It seemed like it was amicable. It was no hard feelings. He just is like, I've done this for so long. I'm getting tired, and I want to try to do something else. Right. Just want to move on. He praised the people he worked with, praised Naughty Dog as a company. So no hard feelings. It's just that
moving on.
Yeah, people want to move on. So good luck to him. He worked on some good projects. All of the games the ones that he co-directed, Uncharted 2, Uncharted 4, and The Last of Us, I have all of those in my backlog queue.
Oh damn, dude! Those in your backlog queue, that's you're doing yourself a disservice right now because those are some good games. I've actually had the pleasure of playing all of those, so I don't feel too bad.
I have the Uncharted trilogy on my PS4. I have Uncharted 4 on my PS4, and I have The Last of Us When they released
the remaster.
The remaster, yep, I have that as well, and that came with the DLC. So I will get to them. I promise.
You got.
I just don't know
they're
when.
They're really good games, and this doesn't mark the first time that we had somebody of a high profile at Naughty Dog just like leaving in the midst of a release. Because we have The Last of Us Part 2 on the way. And I'm pretty sure he would have had his hand in it.
There's no indication that he was working on that.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm just assuming since he worked on.
I would think so. He might have been and just didn't mention it or was not allowed to mention it. Mm-hmm. But I didn't see anywhere where it said he was working on the upcoming Last of Us game.
Okay. Well, yeah, they've been pretty hush-hush about that since they announced it. But I remember back when Uncharted 4 was in development, and then I believe the one of the writers left, like out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, I remember that.
Was it Amy Henning? I think that was her name, and she just like bounced, seemingly out of nowhere. But again, it wasn't. Anything like malicious. It wasn't. It seemed like everything was on good terms, right. And
it seems like Naughty Dog may be a very good company, but they may just push a little bit hard to get their stuff done.
Very, very possible. I mean, you don't hear a lot of news about these guys because they're so tight-lipped about everything that's going on, and they don't release a lot of games. Like they don't release a ton of games like in a year or anything. You might get one every like 3 years.
Every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, but their games are so good.
I mean, I beat Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 2. I probably got about 2/3. I got almost through that on the PlayStation 3. I never went back to finish it, and the games are definitely very good.
Yeah. So, but yeah, good luck to you and your future endeavors. And let's hope that he takes his skills to another development company, and we get good games from somebody else. That would be dope.
Yeah, or maybe he might have his own project that he wants to work on, and maybe pitched and didn't go over well.
Maybe. Yeah, but we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next story, and we are gonna dive into the rumor mill. This is something that we don't do very often. But we have a couple of stories that have popped up that we think that you guys should
take a look at. Pay
attention to it because they're super interesting. And first off, we have a rumor that Shenmue 1 and 2, the classics from the Dreamcast era, and Shenmue 2 came out for the original Xbox. Supposedly, these are going to be getting an HD release on current gen consoles very soon. There was an image that was captured, and I think it was posted on NeoGAF of an item on the Sega stores titled Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2 collection for the Xbox One.
For the Xbox One, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a screen cap of it.
There's a screen cap. Yeah, I'm showing it right now. So this could possibly mean that we're gonna get Shenmue 1 and 2 before Shenmue 3 comes out, which is really good.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be overly surprising because one, Shenmue is a pretty old game.
Yeah,
and two, not a lot of people played them, especially the first one that was on Dreamcast.
Yeah, it's old. I mean, a lot of people that are gaming right now probably started with with the PlayStation 2. Or Xbox 360 or whatever, like those generations. So may not have been able to get their hands on this, this cult classic. And it's very unfortunate because this game was really good and it kind of ushered in the era of the sandbox game, as well as QuickTime events. But neither one of them sold very well.
Right.
Which is why Sega decided to, cancel the story or cancel the series or, I guess put it on hiatus because the creator of the game, Yu Suzuki, or the director, I guess I should say, he already had the story planned out, from the beginning. He had a story to tell and, it's going to continue with Shenmue 3 under his own company, Usenet or something like that. So I can't remember what it is, but this will be a Sega product though. Sega did a really good thing by allowing him to fan fun.
Right, to walk away with it, yeah.
Yeah, to just walk away with his franchise. But I'm assuming they still own the Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2 IP, so they'll be able to sell that. This is nothing but a good thing if true, and it looks like it is. I don't know. What do you think?
It's like I said, like you were saying, it makes a lot of sense considering one, the Shenmue 3 is coming out, an easy way for them to cash in, and two, they're older games that a lot of people didn't play because even when they were out, like you said, they didn't sell very well. They're mainly played by a small cult following.
I mean, because the Dreamcast base was already small,
tiny.
It was as small as it was, and then the game didn't sell. So like a fraction of gamers, during that time actually played that game when it came out. I'm sure a lot of people have gone back and played it. But I feel like there's a large majority of gamers that have not played Shenmue, but maybe I've just heard of it, and this will be your chance to get your hands on it. It's a very good game. I don't know. It might turn a lot of people off because it's not like a GTA as far as like as far as sandbox games are concerned. It's not a GTA or anything like that. But it's
definitely.
Go ahead.
I said it's definitely more deliberate.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh God, it's super detailed. A lot of detail, a lot of love and care went into those games. So I can't wait to see it. And it says that they're HD remakes. So I don't think it's like a remaster or anything. They maybe just like upscaled it to 1080.
We'll see. I mean,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It's interesting. I'm not too upset. I mean, we have to do an episode about all of the remakes. I mean, because everything's a remake these days. But yeah. Shenmue, and then what was the second one?
The second one was Bayonetta 1 and Vanquish being bundled together for current gen consoles. Both of these games are currently out on PC, so it kind of just makes sense that they would just, bring them to consoles as well.
Yeah, and this one actually has cover art.
Yeah, this one has cover art and everything. So this is most likely a thing, probably something that just like leaked or slipped out. But I don't know. Bayonetta, I'm getting kind of sick of re-releasing that game. It's been done quite a few times at this point.
Right.
They have the version that came out with Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U. They have that one. They have the PC version, and now we're gonna get a current generation version. So I don't know. They're just putting Bayonetta everywhere, and Vanquish is a very obscure title, if you ask me, when it comes to Platinum Games' lineup of games. I've never played Vanquish before.
Me either. I did play Bayonetta, but this may be part of, and we talked about this I think back in March. Sega's roadmap. Remember that Sega released that roadmap? They're going to be bringing back a bunch of.
What do they call it? Sega Road to 2020 or something like that.
Sega's Road to 2020. So this may be part of that particular
campaign.
Yeah, and so it's interesting, and it may lead to new games in these series. I mean, we know there's a new Shenmue coming out, but it may lead to a new Bayonetta. It may lead to a new Vanquish game, because from everything I've heard about Vanquish, it wasn't super popular, but the people that played it seem to like the game a lot.
And I mean, we already know Bayonetta is probably one of the most popular action characters to come out in the last few years. Made an appearance in Super Smash Brothers, and you don't get in Smash Brothers unless you're popular. I think she was actually the one that was voted in. So yeah, she won the what was it called, the Smash Ballot? Yeah, that's what it was called. So yeah, Bayonetta and Vanquish most likely being released to current gen consoles. Let us know what you guys think. I mean, I already have Bayonetta, and I don't plan on getting Vanquish, and I don't even know if I'm gonna have enough time to play Shenmue 1 and 2. Those are some bulky,
those are long games.
Yeah, those are some bulky games.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's actually pretty cool, and we'll do more stuff like this. If you guys have any rumors that you would like us to discuss, make sure you let us know, and we'll insert that into the rumor mill. That's what I'm going to call this part, the rumor mill. But yeah, let's go ahead. We have one more top 5 for you. Hold on. Oh yeah. We have one more top 5 for you. Let's go ahead and get into that.
So this actually broke Sunday in our post-show discussion. Last Sunday, everybody's favorite, not mine, but I guess
No,
some
not
people
mine
out
either.
there, their favorite YouTube streamer gamer, PewDiePie, got himself into more trouble. Basically, he was streaming Players Unknown Battleground. Something happened that he didn't like, and he spouts out the most racist of racist terms towards people of color, towards black people, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And immediately he tried to walk it back. He did a apology video where he tried to justify or explain
I
away.
don't think he tried to justify it, but he definitely, said it was a mistake. He said he shouldn't have done it. He can't take it back. He, the same old.
Yeah, but he also said it kind of came off as saying they made me do it. If you ask me, it's like it's because I was upset, and it's because they did something I didn't like, and it's because those are not excuses. Those are not reasons, right?
Right. Yeah. No. I agree.
But the biggest thing that came out is not that he said it. This isn't the first time, because he had deals with Disney and YouTube, and he lost those deals because he was posting anti-Semitic imagery and videos on his channel. So that was his first, I guess, strike, or the first time he ran up against.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say that it sparked the adpocalypse, but it was definitely one of the contributors to the adpocalypse and what's going on YouTube right now, as far as advertisers having a lot more control over where their ads are playing. It wasn't the main thing. I'm not trying to say that. But it definitely didn't help that cause, because he was in the Wall Street Journal, Washington Post. He was everywhere. Everybody was going in on this guy.
Yep.
And a lot of the YouTube community backed him, during that initial incident, because of the nature of it. It was more of a lot of the stuff was definitely taken out of context. But this right here, there's no way that this could be taken out of context. He just flat out used the N-word to address somebody being like an asshole or something like that. Like he used it as a negative term towards another player. Like, oh, that guy is an N-word. Like what? Really?
Exactly. And the thing is, and we talked about this just earlier with the Call of Duty thing. That seems to be the go-to word for everybody.
Exactly, and that's what I wanted to bring up. Is that when I was, and this is crazy.
Wait, don't. Next segment.
Okay, go ahead.
But the reason I wanted to bring
that's
up
right.
The reason I wanted to bring up the PewDiePie story is because he got a DMCA strike.
Right.
And if you're a YouTuber, DMA strikes are serious. You get 3, you're out. I mean, when they say out, your channel's out and your channel's scrubbed, so all your videos are gone too. And they have a way to block you from making new accounts, so a new channel. So yeah. They
put a DMCA on one of their their game, which isn't the game that he was playing.
No, it was Firewatch is the game.
Yeah,
the developer gave him a DMCA.
Yeah,
but it was definitely specifically a reaction to
it was a reaction to his
this latest the first one and then this latest one.
Yeah,
is what they said. They said, okay, the first time we kept an eye on him after he did the anti-Semitic stuff. This one is a bridge too far, or being a repeat offender. We don't want our stuff. We don't want our game associated with this guy, essentially. Yeah. So they sent him the DMCA. He did before they filed for the DMCA strike. He did make the video private. It didn't make a difference. So this is definitely serious.
And it brings up another question. Like a lot of people were talking about, like, is this legal? Like, because the game that he set it on wasn't the game that they put the DMCA on.
Right. So
a lot of people are discussing the legality of it.
Right. So I've listened to a couple of shows now. I've read about this copyright stuff, and I'm a bit of a photographer, and I keep my eyes on the rules of the game,
copyright rules, yeah,
copyright rules and laws, and I've registered quite a few of my images, to be quite honest. But the thing is, the way it works is, I can allow you to use my IP or my art
Yeah.
But I can disallow you for any reason or no reason at all. If I'm a company and I just change my business model and say, hey, from now on, I don't want any of my stuff out in the public domain, I can just take it down and I can throw out DMCA's. I don't have to explain myself.
Right.
So there's no legal remedy for PewDiePie or any YouTuber or streamer that's using somebody else's copyright to block somebody from taking their video down.
Yeah.
It's just not there. It's most times they would do it a little more cordially. They'll say, hey, look, we changed our policies. You are no longer allowed to use our... They send you a takedown notice.
Yeah, notice.
They take down my video and we won't go to YouTube. If they send you the takedown notice, you take it down, it's done.
No harm, no foul.
If they go to the platform holder, be it Twitch, be it YouTube, Vimeo, whoever, Dailymotion, whoever it is, and they get you that DMCA strike, that's a bigger issue. Some of the controversy I read is saying that they could have went to PewDiePie and said, hey, look, take my video down. Instead of giving them the DMCA, it's almost like they were punishing them.
Yeah,
right?
It seems like they were definitely trying to make a statement with that.
Right.
That they wanted to make it clear that they do not approve of what he did or how he's acting or whatever, and they also wanted to make it clear that they don't want him associated with anything that they do.
Exactly.
So it was more of a statement because they definitely just could have sent the notice like via email, or they could have informed YouTube or Twitch or wherever he was streaming, and just letting them know, hey, we don't want PewDiePie to be allowed to upload videos, our content, and they could have just did it behind closed doors. But they definitely made a statement. They
definitely made a statement. Like I said, it feels to me as if they were trying to go out. They were trying to make sure that he was punished some way for those transgressions. And again, they mentioned that it wasn't just this latest incident. It goes back to the first set of incidents that got him in trouble. So, and the thing with PewDiePie is a lot of his fans are young children. I mean, they're young kids.
Oh yeah.
Teenagers, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds. And as much as people want to say, oh, they're old enough to understand, they just soak it up and they spit it back out. So
exactly. And and that's going to segue into the next segment. Unless there's anything else that you wanted to talk about here.
Nothing else.
Okay, yeah. So let's just go ahead and jump into the long form, and we're just going to continue the conversation about toxicity in gaming, and how it hurts gaming, because basically, like you were saying, PewDiePie's excuse, the excuse that he used was that this has just been a part of gaming, and it's a negative. It has had a negative impact on me, and that's the reason why I said it so casually is because it's just a part of gaming. It's just a bad part of gaming,
right?
And I don't agree. I don't agree that that's ever an excuse. And I kind of want to go back to what I was referring to in the icebreaker. In Call of Duty, if you were bad at the game, you usually back then you used to hear the term noob, or you're a newbie, or you suck, or you're a scrub, or something like that.
Right.
They people online used the N-word to infer in place of noob. In place of noob. So I was the first time I heard it, I was like, what? And this was probably Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 around that time frame. So, but before that, that was the first time that I heard it.
Oh, yeah, it's been bad because I've been to Call of Duty. I've been playing Call of Duty since actually Call of Duty 2. I played that on PC. I got Call of Duty 2 on Xbox 360 is one of the launch titles, but when I really got into it was Call of Duty 4. And it started there in Call of Duty 4, probably about the second year of Call of Duty 4. That's when you get in there and you will hear the most vilest of things. I mean, go kill yourself, go jump off a bridge, in this, in that.
Yeah.
MFers. I mean, I remember one match in particular, and this was in Modern Warfare 2. And in Modern Warfare 2, you got nukes, right? You get 25 kill streak, you got nukes. So somebody on my team got the nuke, right? And he decided to keep playing through.
instead of just using it.
Instead of just using it right away, you play through and people. I've done it myself. I mean, it's actually kind of fun to do it.
It's trolling, yeah.
Yeah, you play through. You start losing. The team think they're gonna win, and then you drop the nuke on them, and you win the game at the end. And we got in the lobby, and these two, and they weren't kids. They were adults. They had to be at least college, mid-20s, 21, 22, maybe a little bit older. But they got in screaming at the top of their lungs. Mm-hmm. You must be a monkey and this. I mean, the words that came out of their mouth, I actually just turned the game off and walked away.
Right.
I mean, is just that type of thing. And what I've noticed, we talk about how it hurts gaming. What I've noticed now is when people develop these games now, they don't have those open lobbies like they used to.
No.
The online lobbies aren't open. Like before, it was always default open lobby. You can hear everybody. Now you have to put yourself in a lobby before you can start hearing people, which I found very interesting. And it's a way that they're combating this toxic behavior in these lobbies.
And it's most likely one of the reasons. Well, I'm pretty sure it's one of the main reasons why we don't have this kind of like open lobby system with Nintendo consoles. They don't want that. They don't want that. They don't want that in any of their games.
Right.
Like they go out. Like you can be like soft banned from Smash Brothers. Like if you're playing a free for all and you just focus on one player, they'll soft ban you. it's like. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
wow.
Like if you're bullying somebody, if it's a free for all and you're not fighting everybody, you'll get banned. And I'm just like, wow.
That's a little bit much heavy-handed, but I understand where they're coming from because that's what people. Because in gaming, people bully, they exclude. I mean, one of the biggest things is playing Destiny. I'm a big Destiny fan. I've been playing 2, but back in Destiny 1, to get to the in-game stuff, the raids. You would get in a lobby, like if you use the LFG, the looking for group, they have lots of looking for group places, right? Mm-hmm. You go to a looking for group, you find your groups, you lobby up, and the group leader will be like, okay, we're going to do this. Do you have this specific weapon? At one point, it was the Gallahorn, which is a rocket launcher. If you didn't have the Gallahorn, kicked immediately. Just kick, boom, you're gone.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get before they kick you, they'll cuss you out. You stupid MF! Why you don't got a Gallahorn? I told you, kick them. I've seen people boo people right before the boss dies, just so they don't get loot.
Oh wow!
I mean, it's that type of stuff is horrible. It's really really bad. And it just goes on and on. We talked about Overwatch, and I want to go back to Overwatch because Jeff Kaplan, who's a game director, Overwatch's game director, he usually has these state of the game things I think they're weekly. And this latest one he talked about the in-game reporting systems and how they're faring out and what they're doing to take the toxicity out of the gaming, because Overwatch is horrible.
Wow.
Especially as you climb up in ranks, the people in Overwatch, I mean, they're tanked. If you don't let them pick their character, if you pick Genji and they want Genji, they'll pick Mei and just lock you in rooms. Or they'll get Symmetra and make you fall off the map. I mean, they do crazy stuff like that. And the thing in Overwatch, if you lose a match, you drop down in ranking.
Right.
So when people are actually throwing a match, they're effectively dropping you down in ranking. And you can't quit, because then if you start quitting matches, you get locked out, experience loss. But Jeff Kaplan specifically says that game development of new characters, new modes, game balancing, that type of stuff is being slowed and will continue to be slowed because they have to deal with trolls and the toxic nature of the community. And that's when I read that, I was just like, I'm floored.
Right.
Because you think about it, there's a few, and to be truly honest, it's only a small percentage of people. It's just that they're so loud and they're so horrible. It affects everybody. And the fact that small amount of people are basically ruining the game for the large player base.
For everybody. Ruining the game for themselves.
Right. It's mind-blowing. It's totally mind-blowing.
Yeah, I don't know. Anytime that a developer has to spend time trying to mitigate like trolling, it just takes away from what other things that they could be working on.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to actually come out and say that is pretty startling.
Right.
Because I don't play much Overwatch, and anytime that I do, I'm in a private. I'm in a private lobby. I can't hear anybody except for if my friends were to join. I'm in a friend lobby or whatever you want to call it. I've never actually gotten into a game lobby, and talked with people just because I don't want to deal with that, even if it was a thing.
And that's a problem because a game like Overwatch is a team-based game. You need to be able to communicate. And when you get in there and you're not communicating because you don't want to hear people just going off the deep end with insults for essentially no reason, because at the end of the day, it's just a game. None of us are pros. None of us are getting paid, right? It's just a game, and the pros don't act like that. If they do, they lose sponsorships and such. So
exactly, they lose money.
It's in their best interest not to act that way. So there's no reason for you to act.
We've seen them when they do that, and then instantly blacklisted.
Done. Yep, they're done. That's the end of their career. I mean, there was I think it's either League of Legends. I think it's a League of Legends guy that was trolling, and initially they weren't doing anything to him, and officially they had to ban him for a year. Like he was throwing matches and just being completely toxic, and I just don't understand why people are. It's a whole bunch of reasons. It's a whole bunch of reasons. I remember somebody physically threatened me, "Oh, I'm going to come kick your ass." I said, "Really?" I said, "Do you know who I am?" I said, if you saw me, you'd probably just turn around and go home. I mean, I'm like, what?
I don't get it. I will never understand. I mean, there's trolling and then there's just being toxic. Is two very, very different things.
Right.
But overall, it hurts gaming because mainly because developers have to focus on it.
Right.
We have articles and stories that come out where they're putting emphasis on it. They highlight it. So it's like a talking point, and people that want a fun and enjoyable experience for their players, they have to do something about it.
Right. Exactly. And that ultimately it kills games, because what happens is, and it's part of the reason I don't play Call of Duty is people don't want to play the game. They don't want to go play the game because they're not going to have a good time, because they're going to be hearing all of this stuff. And you can mute them, you can mute people, you can block people, you can not wear your headphones, turn the volume down, but that damages the experience, especially if it's a team game, right?
And then some people don't even care. They'll just send you a message.
Oh yeah, I've gotten people calm banned a ton. I send those. I report them every time.
Yeah,
every time. But it's disappointing to say the least. And when you think about gaming, everybody always says gaming is for kids. But the average gamer, especially in the United States, is about 30 years old. 32, I think, is what the last poll was. And we're all adults. You're not going to fight anybody. If you saw me on the street, you wouldn't talk to me like that. So why are you talking to me like that over the headphone? Because you feel like you're comfortable in your house and there's no consequence. But there are consequences. There are long-lasting consequences. And one is you're killing the game.
Yeah, your game just going away,
Right. The game that you love, the developers aren't going to support it anymore because people aren't going to be playing it anymore. And it's just bad.
Yeah, overall it's just bad. But I think the worst thing about it is when it takes time, money, and resources away from actually improving the game, making it better to deal with this very loud minority. This very, very loud, very vocal minority of any given title. They are getting all the focus is on them.
Right.
You have to come up with ways to different reporting systems. I remember we had about two shows where it was two different companies coming up with ways to just report and ban toxic players.
Right.
And at the time I was like, oh well, this is actually pretty cool. But then I think about it dang, how much time, money, and effort and resources went into this when they could have just been making the game like
making more
fun.
levels, balancing, adding more content, all that stuff is going away. I mean, we talked about Rocket League, who's working on some kind of AI program.
You're right.
To try to. I mean, think
how much
about
money
that.
does that cost?
Yeah, think about it, because that AI right now is all the rage. It's cutting edge. It's what everybody's trying to do, right? So it's not like they're doing it for cheap or for free. They're spending tons of money, and that money that they're spending to keep random Joe Blow from spouting just toxic nonsense at everybody in their game, they can be using that money to better the game. And as long as we have people, we're going to have this problem, because people are messed up.
People are messed up.
A person is good. People are messed up.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah. I think we can end it on that. I mean, let us know what you guys think. About toxicity in games. You can give us examples. Let us know of any instances where you've had to deal with it, and let us know also how you think toxicity hurts gaming the most. Let us know what you guys think down in the comment section, or in the show notes, or wherever you are consuming this media. Let us know. We would love to hear your thoughts on this very, very important discussion. But with that, we can go ahead and move into the next segment, which is going to be our final thoughts. And this is where we just recap all of the stories that we talked about today and give our final 2 cents on it. Boogie, why don't you go ahead and start?
We've talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Okami on HD. Look, that's cool. I wasn't interested when it first came out. I may take a look at it, but cool. Blizzard and their Overwatch League. If they can't balance that game, I don't think the league's gonna last long. Kudos to Justin Wong. That's big on you, because like I mentioned earlier, I mean, that's money out of your pocket in a tournament you probably would place in.
Right.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z, the beta, looked like a ton of fun. Maybe when the open beta comes, I'll get my hands on it. All of the Nintendo news, the Switch app, it shouldn't be news, because this should have been a launch feature. The SNES and NES classics, they'll be available. You don't need to, at least immediately, you don't need to be spending those scalper prices for those things. Super Mario 64 Online seems like a cool deal. Nintendo Switch, it seems like as long as they can keep the retail shelves full, they can sell them.
Yeah.
And GTA 5 go away.
Go away.
The Nintendo Direct event, like you said, it wasn't anything super surprising that made me super excited. It's a couple things I'm interested in, mainly the arcade games, the classic arcade games. The new Xbox One tech to reduce install sizes. I want that. I want that everywhere. I want that on my PC. I want it on my Xbox. I want it on my PlayStation. I want it on my iPhone. I want it on my tablets. I want it everywhere. Uncharted losing some, obviously not Uncharted, but Naughty Dog losing some talent is sad. It's not necessarily sad. I'm sure they'll be fine with it. Just good luck to Bruce Staley. Shenmue 2 and Shenmue bundles, it makes sense. Maybe something I'll look into. Bayonetta and Vanquish as well. The PewDiePie stuff, that's just a microcosm of how gaming is these days, especially the competitive gaming.
Yeah.
People are they're ultra competitive, they're whiny brats, and they're internet tough guys.
Man, I couldn't have said that better. I'll just quickly go through it. Definitely think that Okami HD is a buy if you've never played the game. That you should definitely check that out. Blizzard, they got way too much money, because 20 million for these franchises is ridiculous. Jay Wong, good kudos to him for backing out of tournaments to give his competitors enough time to get well versed in the game before he actually starts to compete. That was very good on him. He didn't have to. The Dragon Ball Fighter Z beta, I'm gonna get good at that game. And Mount Lover has stated that he's going to be the world's greatest Yamcha player. So he's going to be the greatest Yamcha in the world. Maybe I can be the greatest 16 in the world. I don't know, because 16 is my dude right now. As far as the Nintendo news, that Switch app is garbage, man. I installed it. mainly for the Splatoon stuff.
Yep.
That's all I use it for. I've never chatted on what's it called, on freaking the Switch app. I use this thing called Discord, and it's very, very good. And they actually have video chat now, so we may be done with Skype in a little bit. I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. But yeah, man, the SNES and NES Classic, those things are gonna sell like hotcakes just because of the scarcity. Again, we just talked about that. The N64 Mini coming soon, so get your wallets ready for that, I guess. Super Mario 64 Online, I'm gonna have to get that working and play it, and then maybe after that I can do like an update on it and say like how fun it is or whatever. Yeah, the top selling, you know, it's the newest one in the market. I expect for it to drop down once the One X comes out. It maybe, or maybe not. Maybe the Xbox will surpass the PlayStation for the first time in a while. We'll see.
Since last year, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. I think they went a few months where they were number one after the One S released.
Like it was August, September, and I think November. Of last year. Yeah,
but they need games. Xbox needs games, and that just goes into the next thing. The Xbox One tech, because the Direct was bad. But yeah, the Xbox One tech reducing game install sizes is grand. I love that idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good luck to the guy Bruce Stranley. Is that how you say it? Staley. Bruce Staley.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck to all your future endeavors. I can't wait to see if he comes out with anything, because it's most likely going to be good. And Shenmue 2, Bayonetta, and Vanquish bundles. This is most likely a part of Sega's road to 2020. Just releasing everything that everybody likes on everything.
Yeah.
I don't see this as a bad thing. And Shenmue 1 and 2 are certified classics in my opinion.
It's not like they're releasing bad games or bad stuff.
Right. Yeah. They're trying to do good by the fan base. And, you know, God, Shenmue fans have been asking for any kind of re-release for Shenmue for years.
Since last generation.
Yeah, because the OG Xbox was the only console that Shenmue 2 was on. So yeah, they've been asking for that for a long time. So hopefully that's true. And as far as PewDiePie, I don't know, man. It seems like every time he does something like this, you know, he issues his little apology and then everything goes back to normal. I think the reason was that Firewatch
developer?
I think the reason why the Firewatch developers did what they did was to, you know, like punish this guy, you know, because you know, like they drag his name through the mud or whatever. Like he's on the Wall Street Journal, he's getting all of this public press and news or whatever, but nothing's really happening to this guy. He goes back to doing the same old thing, and you know, then we're just back in this situation again when he slips up, quote unquote. I don't know. My girlfriend thinks that he did it on purpose just to get the publicity, which I can't.
I doubt it.
I don't know.
I doubt it. I think
because it just seems like it just happens like too.
He's playing the game and he just espouses. That's what people do. Unfortunately, that's what they do. They get mad and they start yelling out cuss words and any hateful stuff. The first hateful thing they can think of, and that is always the first thing to everybody's mind.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about what the developers did. But I don't know. I feel like PewDiePie just doesn't get enough.
Somebody had to
do something. Because you could take away his deals or whatever, but he's still making money. He's still one of the top YouTubers or whatever. I don't think YouTube really has the balls to take him off the platform. So
I don't think. No. Quite honest, YouTube doesn't really care because as big as PewDiePie is, they're making a ton of money off of him.
Exactly.
They're Google or ABC. They got money hand over fist.
True. I don't know. But yeah, so that was our final thoughts. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments section or wherever it is that you are consuming this media. If you like what we're talking about, let us know. Any of the stories, whether it was the last one, the first one, we want to know your thoughts. Let's get the discussion going. Debate me. Debate me online. It's one of my favorite pastimes. I love responding to you guys' comments. So definitely leave those comments down in your respective comment sections. But yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and bounce up out of here. But before we do, another quick shout out to our sponsors, the New Challenger. Go to newchallenger.gg and get good at your favorite fighting game. And also, if you're listening to us on your favorite podcasting app, we definitely want to thank you for taking us on the go. And Boogie, just in case they don't know, let everybody know where they can listen to us.
Okay, we are on iTunes, we're on Google Play, TuneIn Radio, search us AWGNS or Weekly Gamer News Show. Go to those platforms, rate us, leave us some stars, leave us some comments. We'll take a look at them and improve or make changes as necessary and able to. Right. We are also in the general podcasting directory, so if you are using a podcatcher, say like what I use, Cast or any of those type of things. It's a bunch of them. I can't think of any right now, but I use Overcast is what I use, and then Cast is on the Xbox One.
Okay.
It's a podcasting app you can download and play in the background while you're playing your game. So if you're on Xbox One, download Cast, listen to us while you're playing whatever you play. But definitely leave us some feedback and we'll take it to heart.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all for that. We definitely want to take all your thoughts or your comments into consideration just to make the show better. We have a few ideas in the works, so let us know if any changes, and we'll definitely implement them. And don't forget that you can submit stories to us, and you can also submit questions for the Weekly Icebreaker on Twitter, which we are at AWGamingNS. And just use the hashtag Weekly Icebreaker and ask us a question, and we'll answer it live on the podcast.
You can do it. You can do it on our Facebook page as well. Yes. Facebook.com/AWGNS.
Yep, a Weekly Gaming News Show. Also, we are on YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe because we have content that we post up there. Boogie does the Weekly Gaming News 10 and 10, and I have some other videos in mind, some more impressions. So if you want to see my full thoughts on Dragon Ball FighterZ, that's going to go up on that channel very soon, most likely tomorrow. So yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to that channel. Help us get to 100 subscribers, man. We're trying to get the custom URL. We don't have it yet. We're trying to get there. We're really close. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe. And if you like what you see here, make sure you hit the like button. But that's enough self-promo for now. We're going to go ahead and bounce up out of here. We are your hosts, and this has been a Weekly Gaming News Show. My name is Trenell.
I'm Todd.
And we will catch you guys next week.
Peace.